Okay, so 2 kids. What are their names?
Oh.
Did you pick yet?
um, I have, but we're back and forth. For sure, my son is Axel Stone.
Oh,
So,
ooh.
yeah. Daughter, I don't know. We're kind of in between names with that. I want to name one of our kids Jaeger Stone, and I don't drink Jaeger alcohol at all. I just think it's a really cool name. But for sure, I've always had these dreams that I'm gonna have twins or a boy first. So Axel is my boy's name.
So I want to share a story with you of someone that was on the show, on the Red Tide Community Show, and they are big YouTubers, and it was about their IVF journey, and they had challenges getting pregnant, and they did IVF, and they had their first pregnancy, and then unfortunately they lost it, and they were devastated.
Yeah.
And, God, why are you doing? Why did all this happen? All this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then they did it again because they felt that God put it on their heart that they're going to have kids, and they had a beautiful girl, and they're so excited, and because for whatever reason there was just a very small chance that it would ever be possible for them to have kids. Well, then life happens, and then their next set was twins.
Oh wow.
That are absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And then she's now pregnant with her 4th child.
Oh, see that's
So I
that's
want to
amazing.
share that encouragement with you that as dark as dismal as it might seem,
Yep.
I think God's put that seed in your heart for a reason.
Thank you.
And I'm very confident that's going to happen.
Thank you, man. And some people tell me this is wrong, but my wife would probably tell you something different because she's always just been there. She's always just been my sidekick and done whatever. I was the leading role, right, in our lives. She's always just been there to support me. But I think maybe I had to go through everything I went through before God allowed me to have kids. And I don't know if that's just an excuse and I wanted to party or whatever it may be. But now that's the most thing I want in the whole entire world. When before I was like, all right, babe, we might have a kid, whatever, cool. I'm still going to keep working like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe God was like, no, you can't have a kid in that environment,
Mm-hmm.
to where it's like, well, no, kid, now I put you through all that shit and you learned that,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to be an idiot now because you know what that can bring. Now I'm going to give you kids because I feel like kids, as hard as it's been for us, is the ultimate blessing. Like, I don't think you could get anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You can't buy anything else. You can't do anything else to make you happier. And I don't even have kids, but I know the happiness it's going to bring to me, because I've, and not bragging, I've had everything I've wanted. Like, really, I have. I've had everything. So I feel like that's the one thing I want the most.
It's almost like you're able to get that out of your system because, I think when you have kids early on and then you still want to chase those young man dreams, then you kind of put the family to the side and then, that can have devastating effects.
Yep.
So it was kind of good that you got it out of your system.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I'm not going to say that's what my parents did, but that's what my parents did. They had me very young. My dad was, 19? My mom was 20. So it's like, and they went through multiple divorces and a lot of struggles in their lives and stuff. And I'm not saying that's wrong or right or whatever, but with my circumstance, I think I was put, through that, and the good times for sure, good, right? But I feel like that's the path that I was put down. So
Very proud of you, man.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's a good thing. My first baby, I was 31. Second one right
Really?
before my 39th birthday. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even tell my wife that. She's like, "We're getting old." I'm like, "You just turned 30."
No. Yeah.
I think that's a good age.
Yeah, 31. And
20 was young.
20 is young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen and I were like 21 and 23, and that was young. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're struggling the whole time.
Yeah. But I think the struggle brings you closer too. Because then you get to the other end of the struggle and you're like, we just made it through that. The one thing that I always admire is when you go through a struggle, if you choose to fight for each other, it's just, it's a very courageous thing to do. And it's humbling and it's difficult. And there's days where you go, what was I thinking? Should have ran. But in those days you run toward the person, not away from them.
And I feel like everybody's story is different. You had kids young, and that worked
Yeah.
out for you and your wife.
Yeah.
But you guys are, perfect in your
Adorable.
own mind now, and perfect, right? But that might not be the same for my story or anybody listening's story.
Yeah.
Everybody's is different, but I feel like you're right. If you stand for the person you've been with, and if it's toxic and they're abusing you or hurting you physically, no, run, right?
Yeah.
But if there's other things, anybody stepping out or anything that can happen, alcohol, drugs, if you're not physically abusing somebody, I feel like you should make it work, right? Fight for each other.
Yeah.
Like, fight, you know, and it's hell. It sucks.
But
You know, but at
it's
the end of
good.
the day, I couldn't imagine myself being with somebody else. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's just no way.